My brothers and sisters, what is going on? This is Steel Sermon in the house. Another video for you guys on this Wednesday morning. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Link is posted in the box down below. Now, I know on my channel I just talk about Pittsburgh sports, but in light of the Super Bowl that happened a couple of days ago with the Kansas City Chiefs winning their second Lombardi in 4 seasons, I figured I'd come on here and jump outside the box a little bit. So here's my question to all you guys, and the question that everybody wants answered. Do you consider the Kansas City Chiefs a dynasty? And it's a pretty fair question to ask because you take a look at how dominant that the Chiefs have been pretty much ever since Andy Reid came over back in 2013, I believe. The Chiefs, ever since then, have had a winning season every year, so that's 10 straight winning seasons for the Chiefs. And in 9 of those 10 seasons, they've made the playoffs. The only time they missed it was 2014. They've had 8 top 10 offenses since Andy Reid came there. They've won the AFC West every year since 2016, so that's 7 straight division titles. And out of those times, they've been the number 1 seed in the AFC 3 times. And then, of course, you got the big one. 3 Super Bowl appearances since 2019, and they've won 2 of them. So, many people would say, and I can't even forget this, I'm sorry, 5 straight home AFC Championship games. Patrick Mahomes has put together a resume that looks pretty untouched as far as any other quarterback in the league goes. So they got a great resume on paper when it comes to considering them a dynasty, because a lot of people are going like, oh yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are a dynasty. The Chiefs are, the team to beat. They're going to be the next 80s 49ers. They're going to be the next 2000s Patriots or whatever. Well, here are my thoughts on the dynasty talk. There's a difference between a team that's a dynasty and a team that's consistently great. Okay? We all know what the dynasties in the NFL are. The 60s Packers, the Steel Curtain of the 70s, 80s 49ers. I'd consider the Cowboys in the 90s a dynasty. Tom Brady's Patriots. Those are all dynasties. But the thing is, with Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs, while they have won 2 championships in a short time span, I'm just not ready to call them a dynasty yet. Don't get me wrong, they're very close to being a dynasty for me. But see, in order for me to call a team a dynasty, they have to hit 2 targets for that to happen. First of all, they have to be consistently great, and they have to consistently be in the playoffs, which is what the Chiefs are doing. So they've checked off mark number 1. Okay? They're a consistently great team. They're consistently in the playoffs. And more often than not, they're a top 2 seed. So that's step 1. To me, they haven't hit step 2 yet. And which step 2 for me is they have to win at least 3 championships in a short time span. And they've won 2 of them. And they have to keep winning championships. So, in order for me to officially call the Kansas City Chiefs a dynasty, they either have to repeat or win it in 2024. By then, I'll call the Chiefs a dynasty. I mean, think of it like how the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA, people were questioning if they were a dynasty. 5 championships since 1999, and then they won it in 03, 05, and 07. People were like, yeah, this team is consistently great. This team is really good, but are they really a dynasty? That's the thing, that's the vibe that I'm getting with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're starting to kind of remind me of the Spurs of the late 90s to early 2000s for me. And whether or not these cap problems are going to come with Kansas City in the future because of Patrick Mahomes' extension that he signed a couple years ago with the what was it, $500 million, whatever it was. I think it was $500 million that the Chiefs extended him for. So whether or not the Chiefs are going to be able to replenish on the fly and they're going to be able to hit up on free agency and draft well to complement Patrick Mahomes if he is the face of the franchise, that has to be determined. But the fact of the matter is, the Chiefs have the best head coach in the game in Andy Reid. He's one of the greatest head coaches to ever coach. And now he has 2 Lombardis to his name. Chiefs, as far as defense goes, not great. They definitely have playmakers on the defense, but it's never going to be it's never going to be a force to be reckoned with, you know. But the premise of this video is, what defines a dynasty for you guys? Because my definition of a dynasty, 3 championships in a short time span. And when I say short time span, I'm talking about within a half decade. So 2023 is coming up. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes' 6th season as a starter and 5 years since he became the starter. So in order for me to consider the Chiefs a dynasty, they have to repeat or win it in 2024 because they've been on top of the map for a short time span now. And there's just something else that I want to say, and please don't misconstrue it, okay? Because if you remember, with Big Ben's Steelers, 2004, Big Ben was drafted. Bill Cowher had no intention of starting him that season. But then Tommy Maddox gets injured, and we all know the story with that. Very next season, Steelers win the Super Bowl with Big Ben as the quarterback. And then we didn't win another Super Bowl until 2008, which was Big Ben's 5th season as a starter. And everyone's ready to say, oh, you know, Big Ben Steelers are a dynasty. Big Ben Steelers are this. You know, they're going to compete with Tom Brady. And then obviously we know we didn't win a Super Bowl after Super Bowl 43. And all of a sudden the dynasty talk stopped, which is why I don't consider Big Ben Steelers a dynasty. And then you take a look at Patrick Mahomes. It's pretty much the same thing. 2018 was his first full season as a starter. 2019, Chiefs win the Super Bowl, 2nd season when Mahomes is a starter. And then 3 years later, in Mahomes' 5th season as a starter, Chiefs win another Super Bowl. The point I'm trying, and now everyone's going like, oh, the Chiefs are a dynasty. The Chiefs are I mean, it's the same format that Big Ben had as the Steelers. The point I'm trying to make is, I'm not jumping the gun just yet to say that the Kansas City Chiefs are a dynasty. Because to me, they're like 90% there for me to call them a dynasty. The word dynasty just gets tossed around, you know, nowadays like a frisbee. I mean, everyone's saying, oh, Josh Allen's Bills can be a dynasty. Oh, Joe Burrow's Bengals can be a dynasty. Oh, Lamar's Ravens had a great chance to be a dynasty. Oh, I don't know. Justin Herbert can make the Chargers a dynasty. Oh, Matthew Stafford can make the Rams a dynasty. Tom Brady can make the Bucks a dynasty. You see what I mean? Like, you're telling me that all them quarterbacks, when they don't get younger, let's be honest, when they don't get younger, you mean to tell me that all them quarterbacks in the league are going to stay in their prime for an extended period of time, and they're going to lead their respective teams to at least 3 championships in a short time span when you have all these other great quarterbacks in the league and all these other great teams in the league? And so far, the only team that has done that so far are the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're one step away from officially becoming a dynasty. There can only be one dynasty in the NFL at a certain time. And right now, it's looking like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to become that team. Because in my eyes, yes, the Chiefs are the best team in the league. Obviously, they are if they just won the Super Bowl. They're the best team in the league. They're the team to beat in the NFL. They're the golden standard in the league right now. They are the cream of the crop of the league. Everybody's after them. Everybody wants to take them down. So we know they're consistently great. We know that they're dominant. But right now I'm saying I'm not ready to call them a dynasty yet. One more championship within the next 2 years will do it for me officially. So those are just my general thoughts. Those are just my takes on what the Kansas City Chiefs are to me. To me, they're a consistently great team that's one step away from officially me calling them a dynasty. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. May God be with you all.